Hi guys, it's Michelle Jones here and I'm live. And I just wanted to update everyone on what's been happening on my spring onions. So I've got you guys both on Facebook and on Instagram. And these are the spring onions that we started planting on the 4th of August. So it's now the 24th, if I'm not mistaken. So after 20 days, I wanted to give you an update of how the sprouts look like. So let's start with tap water. This one here in the middle is tap water. I've had to transfer it in a bigger container, but the small container inside still says tap. So I'm just gonna share it here. It says the word tap. Yep, tap. Now, what has happened to tap? The leaves are a little bit lighter, but what I found was the stalks aren't quite so thick. So I'm going to pull it out, and this is how the plant from tap looks like. The oxidation of the dead part of the spring onion, or the part that we've cut, started earlier than all the others, and I think it started at about week 2, and the roots have come up, so that's good, but the stalks are quite thin. The other thing that I usually look at is how many leaves have sprouted per plant. So here you will see that it's had two. There was a third, but that died very shortly. Okay, so this is our tap. Now, let me just put that back in there. Oops. And against there, so it's standing up. 4.5 pH. The leaves are not as strong as well, actually quite weak. This one, it's had 2 leaves that have fallen off. Oxidation just started on the cutting, on the area that we've cut. But again, the stems are very thin, right? The stems aren't thick at all. Okay, it's got 2 sprouts on this one. One on this, actually one has died already on this one. One on this, but also another one's died. So it had 2 sprouts each. Let me put that back in. In terms of its height, it's slightly taller. Its tallest one is slightly taller than the tap water. Now let's look at the 9.5. The 9.5, let me pull that out. Oxidation has barely started. Roots are nice and thick. The stalks are nice and thick. And you have 3 sprouts here. You have 2 here. This one, yeah, I guess it's died. You've got 3 here. There's another one that's popping up. Quite thick though, quite thick. It's actually too thick that sometimes it's very hard to stick it into the small container inside. I like keeping it in the small container so that I can identify which is which. But if you look at that and we put them right beside each other, you can see it here. All right. And you get the tap. The spring onion from the 9.5, which is on my left side, this one's here, are taller than this one. They're also thicker, and when you feel them, they're stronger. This one's quite flimsy, so I have to support the leaves very well. Now, why am I doing this experiment? Because I want to be able to see if it really makes a difference actually watering your plants, growing your plants on Kangen water. And we have plants, and we have a lot of people that grow organic gardens. Um, and we know that when we water in soil, there are plants that actually prefer um, acid water. But when we're looking at more hydroponically grown plants, or in this case, um, spring onions grown in water, the more alkaline the water, the stronger the plants become. I have to say, in the beginning, the plants that stayed in acid water first um, sprouted taller. Actually, let me rewind that. On the first day, just after I put them in their water, the ones in 9.5 pH water sprouted faster. First, second day, 9.5 pH water sprouts were taller. And then on the third day, acid water sprouts started shooting up. Third, fourth, fifth, until I think the seventh day, tap water started growing as well. And then they just, each started strengthening their leaves and what have you. But as you can see here, the strongest ones and the fattest fattest spring onions, the fattest leaves, were the 9.5. Tap water and acid water don't have very strong uh, stalks, and they actually also have had leaves dying, and yeah, they're quite thin. This one, I really just like the way it's growing. Now, these are spring onions that I've also just cut up, I think about 3 or 4 days ago. Put them in 9.5. So this is my next batch. Now I'm showing you this because I've decided, with seeing that the spring onions are starting to keep breaking or get so flimsy, I'm now going to be transferring all of them in 9.5. So again, this is 20 days in, and the spring onions from the 9.5 are thicker, stronger, taller. The ones from the tap water are thinner, more delicate, slightly shorter. The ones on the 4.5, again, still delicate, still thinner, and still shorter. And as I said, I've had more uh, stalks, leaves dying in this ones than here. This is actually the first one I've seen. So I'll be transferring all of them. What does that mean for us? It just shows that there's so many minerals in our 11.5 pH water. As I said, this one has only had, sorry, not 11.5, 9.5. This one's only been watered in 9.5 pH. Mostly it's from the container that I have in my bedroom when I sleep at night. In the morning when I wake up, I toss it here. I do rinse the plant. And if you see this one, this leaves, this part of the stalk that has turned black, that has oxidized, should have already melted away, or what do you call it, just broken down more. But with the 9.5, it's just stayed intact. So I do rinse that. Don't do it daily anymore though, especially with my shoulder being crooked. I've not really been paying attention to them too much. And I did replace the water every day at the beginning, especially for this ones. But I have to say as well, for the last few days with my spring onions, it hasn't been daily. But that being said, it hasn't been daily, but you'll still see that the oxidation has been fastest in tap and slowest in 9.5. And the oxidation was in the bottom, the blackening that you can see from the plant. So again, let me pull that out and show you. Just pull one out. So it's easier to see that part. Huh? And with the acid water, Which one is that? It's this one, and it's just starting. And look at the difference. Tap water, acid water. Acid water has barely started its oxidation. Tap water has started after the first week. And the Kangen water has just started, not even looking black at the moment. So I thought I'd just share that. Again, now's a good time to start doing your experiments if you want to experiment on creating your organic garden and creating your garden from store-bought veggies. Now's a good time. You know, we're home most of the time. We're wanting healthier foods. We're wanting to eat more organic stuff. So let's start looking at, eating organic. And if you haven't yet owned or gotten yourself, a Kangen machine, it's a really good machine to start looking at. It filters, so it's got a filter on this side, and it's got your 7 plates on this side. The 7 plates breaks your water down and creates ionized water. When you have filters that just removes toxins in your water, all it does is it removes the chlorine, the buildups that's not good for the body. But the thing that you don't realize is after that's taken out and you measure the quality of the water and to check whether or not it's got antioxidant properties or if it oxidizes in your system, the tests will show that those waters are oxidized. So I'm going to share with you that test. Basically, we make use of an ORP meter, an oxidation reduction potential meter. An oxidation reduction potential meter shows you whether or not the drink that you're drinking is antioxidant or oxidizing. And tap water is always oxidizing. When you filter from tap, you put it in whatever your filtration device is. When we test it, it's still oxidized water. Kangen water has antioxidant properties that are 3 times the value of antioxidants you get from your fish oil, for example, or even 10 times what you get from green tea. So rather than you spending all your money on even store-bought supplements because you want antioxidants in your system, you're better off getting it from the most basic source, which is good, healthy water. And the Kangen machine, which is a medical grade Japanese-owned, Japanese-created machine, gives you the best quality of water for your health, especially with the pandemic that we have right now. If you want to keep your family safe, if you want to keep yourself safe and healthy and strong, and you want your body to have a fighting chance, you need to replenish 70% of you, which is made up of water, with good, healthy water. So I hope that helps. Again, these are my plants. I'm going to be soaking my strawberries, if you're seeing it on the side there, and putting it in, washing it in 11.5 pH to get rid of the pesticides. So again, this machine gives you that opportunity, other machines don't. So I hope you enjoyed this and you learned something from it. Remember that whatever it is that you learn, you have to read about, and once you've decided that it's good for you, implement it. It's not good enough to just know that it's there. You need to make sure that you implement it, because your body deserves the best. Your family deserves the best. You need to be the healthiest that you can be, especially at this point in our existence. Okay? Have a great day. Bye. Oops.